Hey all, welcome back to the Guitar Slinger Hockey Channel. I got a stick review for you today on the Sherwood COD, Cash on Delivery, Call of Duty, whatever you want to call it, TMP Pro Hockey Stick for playing the game of icicle hockey. That's right. I was pretty intrigued by the stick when I first heard about it. It kind of encapsulates my game. And so I want to go over the pros and the cons, kind of what I compared it to, and who I think the stick might be good for. So right off the bat, I compared this stick against the CCM AS4 Pro, which, as you know, it's been my favorite stick to this point. Although I do have an AS5 Pro coming in the mail probably in the next couple of weeks, which I will definitely provide my input on once I get a chance to thoroughly use that. I also tested it against my FT5 Pro Jet Speed and the Nexus Geo. I do not have a Nexus Sync, so the Geo was what I could compare it to. The way I would describe this stick, it's some sort of combination of a Jet Speed and a Geo, or I should just say Nexus. And by what I mean by that is it has a similar type of kick point to the FT5 Pro Jet Speed, but the blade is significantly more damp than anything that CCM makes. So it has that Nexus type of damp blade feel, which in my mind, I'm a playmaker style player, and passing is a big deal for me. So I want a stick that's going to be able to do all that stuff really well. And this stick definitely does it well, for sure, especially receiving hot passes. And so I would say that it's not going to get you the same power as the Jet Speed will. It's not going to get you the same power as the AS4 Pro Super Tax. It will get you more power than the Nexus Geo, at least. I'm not sure about the Sync. Maybe it will, but anyways, it's a pretty good performing stick. So that kind of leads us into the pros of it too. So not only does it perform pretty darn well, the price point on it is 260 American monies, which is pretty good when you think about 340 bucks for top end CCM sticks now. So it's got that going for it. It's also got a really nice grip to it. It's got some raised texture to the shaft, very traditional feeling shaft where it's like squared. There's actually a lot of similarities between the grip and of the Sherwood and the AS4 Pro Super Tax, if you've ever seen one of those up close. And it's feels really good. It's got really good balance to it. The other thing that it has going for it too, if you're somebody who uses a P92 curve or a P29 curve in CCM, I do think that there is a hidden gem when it comes to the blades on these Sherwood sticks. And this is something that might be a little controversial to say, but in my opinion, one of the most important specifications for any beer league hockey player is the lie of a stick. And from the coaching that I've seen, the majority of adult rec players who are in that novice to intermediate range do really, really well with a Live 5 stick. And that would be like the W88 curves, the P90TM curves, the P29 curve from CCM. That's close, that's a little higher, but the Sherwood has a true Live 5 blade on it if you choose the P92. It is exactly one-for-one match with the P90TM, with the W88, things like that, which means that there's a lot better contact on the ice for receiving hard passes, for ensuring that you don't whiff on passes when you try to send someone a pass. It's good connection with the ice based upon what I've seen, and I'm a big fan of it myself. If you're somebody who's a lot more skilled and plays the puck really close to your body, you're going to want that higher lie or maybe like a P28, something like that. And, obviously you'll have fun with it. But anyways, I was pretty impressed to see that there was actually a Live 5 on the P92 curve that comes on the Sherwood stick, because most companies that don't have the name CCM or Bauer on them are using a knockoff bootleg P92 curve that has like a lie 6 on it, something like that. So it's got a pretty high one when the toe's off the ice, missing passes, things like that. Because, you know, especially those novice to intermediate players aren't really sure how to roll the wrists over to cup the puck and get the blade on the ice on those higher lies. So that was pretty cool about it. It has a pretty accurate one-timer and slap shot, which is pretty nice. It's not the hardest that I've ever shot, but it is like very surprising how accurate I was with my one-timers, and that it definitely has that going for it. And this is actually something that I consider to be a pro. This next topic here is the weight of the stick. It's coming in around 400 grams. Now, I do think that is kind of heavy for sticks nowadays, but there are a fair amount of sticks that are actually so light that you can't feel the blade. You know, it feels like the shaft of a stick with no blade on the end of it. True has kind of been battling that with its like Project X stick and some other companies, and that's kind of lame. That could be a problem when you get to the higher levels unless you have super soft hands and unlike me who has cinder blocks for hands. So the extra weight, although it's a little bit more fatiguing to do one-handed manipulation of the puck if you need to, it really lends itself to helping out with those slap shots, one-timers, holding on to hot passes, and, you know, that kind of stuff. So that was nice, but I did notice that it kind of impeded the stick handling a little bit, that weight. So a pro and a con maybe on that one. I would like to see the weight reduced a bit on this stick. So that's kind of what it comes down to from a standpoint of the pros for it. So getting into cons, I guess starting off with the weight, I did think it was maybe more of a con than a pro. I also felt like I learned something with it too regarding the dampness of the blade. I've always really enjoyed having a damp blade for my passing game, but the reality of it is I think I'm so used to lively blades that are coming on the CCM sticks, especially on the SuperTax line, that I did miss the poppiness of the CCMs. So I kind of felt like it was kind of a dull feeling stick unless you were using it from a standpoint of like one-timers and really loading your wrist shots. So I kind of viewed it as a little bit of a con. Year mileage may obviously vary on that one. And then the other thing, which I was really bummed out about, was the durability on the stick was not what I had hoped for. And so I'm going to demonstrate this for you, and it's kind of just going to be audio now, and you're going to have to listen pretty closely to it, but we'll try to catch it on the microphone here. So here we go. Did you hear it? So we got the maraca sound going on. So as you as hockey players know, that could be a couple of things. It could be just a piece of glue that broke loose. It could be a piece of composite material that broke loose. It could be a combination of them, but it sounds just like there's one thing in there. And this may not be a problem at all. It may be a problem. So here's the issue. I am having to do a warranty return on the stick because it is actually only 2 days out of warranty. And so, unfortunately, the durability on the stick wasn't going to work for me. So even though this could be a problem, might not be a problem, being as close as I am to the warranty return and the fact that I can get a full money refund on this, I'm not even going to risk it. So I don't know if this was a one-off situation in my case, but I kind of got the impression that this is actually a pretty durable stick. In fact, I would probably tell people not to worry about this. I'm just so close to the warranty return date that I'm going to take advantage of it. So anyways, that was kind of the bummer of it. The other con of it too, I found it to be a little bit unpredictable regarding my shots. I usually with things like CCM sticks, no matter which of the 3 lines of stick they have, I find them to be very consistent feeling sticks. So I can get the shot off the same way almost every time, unless it's just straight up my fault. I did find myself whiffing on some shots with the Sherwood, and I'm not entirely sure why that was happening. You can definitely chalk some of it up to my own skill level, but there were definitely more cases than not when I did whiff on the puck that I felt extremely in control and deliberate about what I was doing. And, we'd see the puck would, I shoot right, so it would shoot way right of the net, like the blade was opening up or something like that. I don't know. But it was a little bit too unpredictable for my liking. But then there'd be other shots, other one-timers that I get where it'd be, pick a corner, bar down type of deal. And, even in those cases where I got those shots off, I was actually a little bit surprised that I did. So in all cases, no matter how many goals I scored with it, I was completely confused by when it went in and when it didn't. So that's, I don't know. I don't really like that inconsistency. So kind of mediocre on from my perspective. So anyways, those are kind of the cons though. So who is this stick good for? Well, first of all, I think that the price point is a total win. This isn't just some lower end stick. This is a top end stick, but I think Sherwood just knows they can't charge an arm and a leg for it when you have companies like CCM and Bauer producing what they're producing. It's not going to perform like them, but it is really good bang for the buck, and I kind of think that the durability is there. I feel like I might be kind of a one-off in this particular case, but it shoots way better than the price point. I just get the luxury of A-Bing it against other top-end sticks. I wouldn't be afraid of making the purchase if you were considering it, and that's even if you can find it too. You're definitely going to have to order this stick. I have a hard time believing that it's just going to be local in your store, but that's neither here nor there. So what type of stick is this person going to be good for? I think it's going to be great for somebody who's really interested in being a playmaker, who enjoys puck feel, passing, one-timers, slap shots. I think the stick is going to be great for you. I think if you're a low kick person, high agility player, quick release, you won't like this at all. I also think you're not going to like it if you like a blade that's really poppy. This doesn't really have that. It's not meant to be. But if you're kind of considering this versus a Nexus stick or a Jet Speed, I think this is a better stick than a Nexus. Again, I haven't tried the Sync, but just over the Geo for sure. But I don't think it's going to compete with anything that CCM makes. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. So your mileage may vary. But anyways, this is my video. I just wanted to make a quick one on this. Not a whole lot of pictures to show, but hopefully you got a little bit of information about it. And, if you have any questions, obviously leave them in the comments. I do the best job I can at answering all of the comments. And I'll get back to you. But other than that, peace out, and we'll talk soon.